I'm really a big believer in that students need to understand concepts first before they can actually start understanding some of the examples that make up the content. So when we often think of this, we think of mind mapping, putting things together, and we know that visual learning is key and is critical for a lot of students. So a lot of times we think of stuff like this, the mind maps themselves, and let's look for people draw, and we have something at the center, and then from there we branch out and we start going further and further. Usually you'll see different colors, you'll see different concepts around, and then from that come examples, whatnot. So what I thought to do is let's have some fun with this and let's create a mind mapping project. And what I chose to use is I use mindmeister.com, which is a search engine for mind mapping, and they have all different levels, but what we use is we use the basic one. So this was what a particular student put together here. And what chose to do is there were 3 requirements for the project. You had to have World War II, you had to have the Cold War, and you had to have new nations. And for us, this was Chapter 16, Chapter 17, and Chapter 18 for World Civilization. But they all stem from World War II and play off that. So each student had to come up with what they believed their knowledge was and had to demonstrate understanding just from what they've learned. And I allowed them to have free reign and put whatever they felt was important in it. So if we go through this a little bit and we look, we start having some fun and seeing that the student, put people, events, concepts, conflicts, and broke them out from the Cold War like that. We also see these arrows here, and what these arrows can create are connections that maybe aren't direct connections, but they do apply. So like if you wanted to put Laos with Vietnam War, you could do that. Click on it, and then you could write a note here for it and show it. But I think it's a really fun way for students to engage with the content, and they're able to show a different level of understanding versus just your typical selected response format assessments where they have to take tests and they tend to get heightened. So what I enjoyed about this is they had fun with this, and if you look even closer, you'll see mindmeister.com has done a really good job with emojis, and so I asked them they had to have a certain amount of emojis in their stuff. So for this particular student, they put Hiroshima with the Japanese flag. Then for the first use of the nuclear bomb in war, they put the Japanese flag, a bomb, and an end signal, signifying that it ends. And if you look even closer, I thought this was pretty cool of them. On the Pacific, for the battles, they split it between Pacific and European theater. They actually put a globe of the Pacific, and they put a globe of Europe and North Africa. I thought this was a really fun way for them to explore, have fun, not put limits on their learning, and just see what they create, what they come up with. And I think they're better off for doing activities like this. And moving forward, we're going to keep doing this, but I really enjoy this, and I think students benefit when they do mind mapping activities like this.